Hey there, welcome to Abundant Source Raw. I'm super excited to have you with me today because I'm going to be talking about something very, very important. In fact, I think it may be one of the most important messages I could possibly give at this point in the human consciousness. And it's going to be all about forgiveness, acceptance, understanding, unconditional love. This is what we really need to focus on at this point in our journey towards higher consciousness, especially to help awaken the rest of us to this higher consciousness. I'm going to talk a little bit about all this, and I'm also going to give you a little technique, something I've been doing every day that is really just amazing for forgiving everyone, everything, and forgiving yourself especially, because I think that's probably one of the hardest things for most people to forgive, is to forgive themselves. But you really have to. You have got to forgive, you've got to accept, and you've got to just love unconditionally if you want to reach the next level of consciousness and just feel your best and feel connected. It's all about forgiveness. True healing is forgiveness. I know one of the biggest kind of setbacks for me was I had a hard time forgiving myself for so long for eating things that were either cooked or something that made me feel bad while I was trying to become raw. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we raw foodists really cannot let go of if we are still struggling with that, is that we really have a hard time forgiving ourselves for eating certain foods that we know we shouldn't eat. But it's really so beneficial to forgive yourself for eating these things. It doesn't give you an excuse to just eat whatever you want and then say I can just forgive myself. You always want to be conscious and evolving your diet and trying to get to the next level of diet. But if you do slip up, which is typically inevitable, then you want to forgive yourself. Otherwise, you're going to just be torturing yourself. In the book, The Four Agreements, I don't remember the exact words, but in the beginning of the book, it talked about how true fairness and true justice is, basically being punished once for something that you did once. So basically, we eat this crappy food and then we feel terrible. That should be punishment enough. But instead, what we do is we punish ourselves 1,000 more times in our head, and saying that we're not good enough and that, like, why would you do that, and playing ourselves down and not being able to forgive and accept what happened. And so now we have punished ourselves 1,000 times for something that we did once, and so that's not really fair to you to do that to yourself. But I want to get kind of deep into forgiveness and acceptance and talk about what it really looks like on pretty deep levels, and to try and give you a good idea of how you can just forgive things that most people most people would almost demonize you for forgiving certain things. Like, if you can forgive this person for doing such a horrible thing, then you're not a good person. But can you see how that's holding that person back? Can you see how this person is just building up anger and just can't really control his true being because he can't forgive and accept what's happening? Whereas the person who can accept and forgive is totally, I wouldn't say in control, but they have, they're never out of control. They're perfectly at peace, and they can understand why these people do these things. Because I want to see if I can sort of take us on a little journey to understanding some of these things, because unconditional love is all about understanding and knowing that it's kind of tough right now in our society and in our conscious awareness at the moment. Everybody is fighting a great battle. We are just all doing the best we can with the knowledge that we have. So I want to see if we can go through different levels of understanding, and which will lead to forgiveness, because if you understand something, then it's so easy to love and forgive it. The reason we dislike people or dislike certain things is because we don't really understand it at its core. You know, some people have a hard time just forgiving a comment that somebody may have said the other day, and they just can't let that go, and now it's torturing them for, you know, days and maybe even weeks or months after it had happened, torturing themselves over and over because they just couldn't understand and they couldn't accept and forgive what that person had said. But you don't really often see too many people trying to understand why they said it or where they're coming from. And fortunately for me, I've always been very understanding and accepting of other people, and I've never had any like real traumas that would sort of create a big attachment for me in my life or something that I couldn't let go of. And I've always thought about where people are coming from when I was growing up, and just when I would hear, you know, maybe from coworkers, different remarks about how this person did this to them, and you know, just, you know, making remarks about customers and how they were rude, and I would just always think about, well, you know, there must be a reason that they acted this way. They must be hurting themselves. You know, only hurt people hurt people. So there has to be something going on in their life. And like I said, everybody's is you know, fighting a great battle, and we really got to realize this. We don't know what these people have been through and what they've been taught and how they've been manipulated, and you know, you can't really blame them for the most part for the environment that they've grown up in and have been sort of programmed in to believe different things. But I want to get pretty deep and think about, say, you know, animal agriculture. There's a lot of vegans doing a lot of activism, and I see a lot of aggression towards certain people and industries. And it's understandable. It's definitely understandable. Innocent beings are dying. We're being, you know, tortured by eating the dead remains of, you know, things that we're not even biologically meant to eat, and it's killing us and it's killing them and killing the planet, and all these horrible things. And most vegans would call it unforgivable, but you have to forgive, otherwise you're going to stay stuck in violence. You're going to stay stuck in basically this mindset of war, and you're going to be perpetuating negativity onto the world, and you're going to be dimming your own light trying to, you know, fight these so-called evil forces. And it's really not a very efficient way to reach higher levels of consciousness. And consciousness is everything. And the biggest focus of biological life is to reach higher levels of consciousness. And it's not something that you really have to believe, and not even biological life, even things that you wouldn't consider living. The whole purpose of, well, maybe not the purpose, but the whole main focus of everything in existence is to reach a higher level of consciousness and a higher level of vibration. And it's not something you personally have to believe, but it's something that I personally know is true. And so it's all that really matters, is reaching higher levels of consciousness. And if you're still here at war with people and fighting against people, then, I mean, you're fighting against yourself. We are all consciously connected, and you know, you are bringing yourself down by bringing these other people down. You know, the only way to get us to a higher level is to uplift and to be that light for people, and to set an example of, you know, love and forgiveness. You don't want to put so-called, you know, bad or negative people down. You know, that's what we that's what we light workers are here for. There is an imbalance on the planet. There is a lot of, you know, this negative-oriented conditioning on the planet, and so, you know, the universe is balancing itself out, and so that's what us, you know, light workers, indigo children, you know, the warriors of peace, the children of light, that's what we're here for. To enlighten the rest of us and bring the conscious awareness to a higher level. And so don't hate on your brother or your sister, even if they seem to be lowering the conscious levels, because that is basically what we're here for. We are here to teach and to forgive and to love and show the way to higher vibrational awareness. Lao Tzu said, what is a good man but a bad man's teacher? And what is a bad man but a good man's job? And he said that that is the great secret. If you are consciously awake, then it is our job, so to speak, to lead the way and shed the light and show people, give them the example, be the change that you want to see in the world, and understand that everything that's happening is just everything striving towards higher consciousness. Every struggle in your life is trying to show you a message, and it is going to be very beneficial to you if you can start to identify these messages and to see every struggle in your life, that when you have a struggle or a seemingly roadblock type of situation, that you identify it and say, okay, this is happening for a reason. Try and look for the signs that are going to point you into the right direction. Try and think about what you could be working on. What have you been doing recently that maybe is out of alignment with the source and with God? And typically we know deep down, a lot of us really try to suppress it because it's something that we, when we get these roadblocks, we want to be comfortable and we don't want to give up certain things. But, when we do that, then life's going to hit you with a roadblock, and you're going to have to raise your consciousness, and you're going to have to let go of whatever you're holding on to. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting pounded by life until you reach a new level of consciousness. It's the whole reason you are being sent these roadblocks, is so that way you can overcome them and reach a greater level of awareness and vibration for yourself. And so the only way we're going to reach a higher level is if we can forgive ourselves, if we can forgive everybody that's ever done harm to us, everybody that's ever traumatized us, everybody who's ever, destroyed the earth, corporations, all these things. We have to not only forgive them, but we have to accept them at this time. We have to accept that they have a purpose, that they are trying to teach us, that through this we are going to evolve to such a higher consciousness because of what's happening here. And when we can let all that go, all that baggage that's holding us back, oh my goodness, we just, your whole being just starts to fill up with light, loving energy, and you feel so good, you feel so light, you feel incredible when you can forgive and accept. And that will ultimately lead to unconditional love for everything, because now you have a great understanding when you let go of these things, and you can really understand where these people are coming from, the world that we've been brought into, the programming that we've had, and even the so-called Illuminati and the people who are in charge. They have their own conditioning and programming, and they have their own way of thinking what they think is to be good and righteous, and so they're doing the best they can with the knowledge that they have to do what they think is going to be ultimately good. And so we have to forgive and accept that, and we have to learn from it and understand that these beings are our greatest teachers, and that they are leading us to such a high level of understanding of ourselves and of the universe. And once we overcome this, then we are going to be so spiritually heightened. It's going to be amazing. And I believe that the day is going to come very soon when we do overcome all this, because I just see it everywhere, and I see so many amazing beings coming out and just speaking the truth, and I see oneness everywhere I go. It's like almost nearly everyone that I talk to has an idea of oneness, and I think that a very high amount of people are realizing that everything is one, whether they practice it or whether they do any type of meditation or anything like that. People are still realizing and understanding, even scientifically now, that everything is one and connected. You know, it's not even some kind of spiritual hocus pocus anymore. It's scientifically proven and verifiable that everything is one. So now I think that's all that I really have to say about it for right now. So I'm just gonna leave you with a little technique, a little meditation that I do. I've been doing it every day, and it's really just been super helpful for relieving everything inside of me and helping me to get connected and get that love energy in me, and just stay vibrating very high. And so what I do is just, sit comfortably, and then I like to put my hands near my heart chakra, and you can do this however you want, but then I will just repeat I forgive over and over, and I'll think of different things. For you, as you're repeating it, think of different people, think of different situations that you have holding on deep inside. You may not even be aware of some of these until they come up and you say I forgive, and an image flashes in your head and you're like, oh my gosh, that happened so long ago, I didn't even, it's just subconsciously in there. But as you forgive more and more, things will start coming up even more. And so it's a really amazing process, and you'll just continue that until you feel like you have pretty much nothing more to forgive, like you've forgiven everything at this time that is holding you back. So you'll just, I forgive, I forgive, I forgive, and you'll keep repeating I forgive, and letting go of everything, these people that hurt you, forgiving yourself for eating that food, forgiving yourself for doing that thing that you did, and forgiving everything and everyone until it's all out. And then you'll do the same thing with I accept. So I accept is a little different. You can forgive somebody, but it can still be tough to accept them for the way that they are and things like that. So you really want to accept everything, accept the world as it is, accept yourself how you are. You are completely perfect. Everything is perfect. We're all one. We're all on this journey together, and we all need each other. I need you and you need me, and we all need everybody else. So let's just accept that. Let's accept these people who have done harm to us and who are doing harm to the planet. Accept that this is something that we need. This is something that is happening for a reason. And so let's just accept everything we can until we feel like it's all come out. And then, so that's really the biggest thing for forgiveness and acceptance. And if you want, it can be helpful to focus on your heart chakra and focus on drawing in that green love energy that deals with unconditional love and forgiveness, and just kind of feel yourself filling up with this green heart energy as you're saying it. That can really help. And then typically I'll do this before I go into my meditations, just so I can make sure I've got everything off my chest and out of my mind. And then so if you're going into a meditation after this, then I also like to, after I repeat I accept, then I will also repeat I surrender. And I'll just keep repeating that until I feel like I'm finished repeating it, until I feel like I am totally just open to receiving everything, totally connected. I'll just repeat I surrender. And then typically after I've repeated that, then I'll Om at least 3 times. And what that's going to do is, it just really raises your vibration. You want to say these things out loud as well, because as you say them with intention, it's going to vibrate through your whole body when you speak it. And basically every cell in your body is, going to be more influenced by this intention because of the vibrations that you're speaking. And that's the idea with this Om as well. Now that you've spoken these things and set the intention, now you Om to these intentions, and it totally vibrates out around your whole body, and now your whole body is just buzzing with these intentional vibrations of love, acceptance, forgiveness. And so it'll be something like this. And so you can Om however you like. I would just suggest trying to do it to where you get the most kind of vibration and whatever feels best for you. And so I suggest that you do this every day, every single day. It only takes, probably less than 5 minutes to sit there and forgive everything and accept everything, and you're going to be filled with so much energy. You're going to feel so light. You're going to release all these different things, all these different emotions that were trapped, and it's really the next step in the human consciousness evolution. That is basically what we need to focus on and work on right now. It's the biggest message that I think I can give at this point for us, so that way we can evolve into the next level of consciousness, is forgiveness, acceptance, unconditional love. This is what we all need to work on. We all need to work on forgiveness. And if enough of us start doing this, forgiving ourselves and accepting ourselves and everything else every single day, and we're all meditating, I just see this change and evolution coming so rapidly, and all this is just going to completely boost it. And one thing I wanted to mention really quickly before I leave you is that all the great masters and teachers basically say consciousness is everything, and when you are in that state of connectedness and you're meditating, it is the most important thing we can do for the entire planet. More than, they say that one single moment of connectedness, of one single moment of enlightenment, is more beneficial to the world than a lifetime of basically service-oriented action. So you could be donating thousands or even millions of dollars to charities. You could be going on different missions. You could be an activist who is really, making progress towards taking down different corporations, and you could be doing all these things. You could be giving every single day, and they say that a lifetime of that would be less than one single moment of total clarity and connectedness, because that is seriously what raises our vibration. When you're giving and giving to charity, and you're going off and helping different people on the planet, you're kind of, still in this system. You're still supporting the system that is basically illusionary. None of this stuff is even really that relevant, other than to help us to evolve in consciousness. And so the fastest way to evolve in consciousness is to sit here silent, connected, and that's what's going to evolve your personal consciousness as well as the total human consciousness. So these kids that are sitting in their room meditating are doing more for the planet than these vegan activists and people who are trying to donate to charity every day. They're still in this system that really is not incredibly important compared to raising your consciousness. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, and let me hear your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I will talk with you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.